Hi, I'm James. Hi, I'm James. Hi, I'm James. Hi, I'm James, and I'm going to tell you how I became a full-time property investor at 26. Was that okay? Boom. When I was 18, I took a gap year. Didn't know what I wanted to do, so I asked my dad. I said, "Son, come work with me. I've got a property." He's not a property investor, but he had a project at the time. It was the first time I ever held a screwdriver, a drill, and realised that gloss paint doesn't come off clothes very easily. But these were all the learning curves that I went through, and was able to kind of help him finish the project because he'd actually ruptured his Achilles tendon at the time, as he wasn't able to do much work. But not only the kind of renovation side of things I was learning, but it was also speaking with estate agents, arranging viewings, and negotiating the sale of the property in the end, which was a success. So once the property had sold, my gap year was over and I decided that I was going to go to university. Whilst at university, I rented a room off a friend for student accommodation. It was a nice room, nice ensuite. I was paying £90 a week. In my head, I'm thinking, if you could do this with maybe 3, 4 or 5 bedrooms, then you can make some very, very good money. That's when I really piqued my interest and wanted to get more involved with property investment. Okay. So I decided to use my savings and student loan to purchase my first house for £53,000, put down a 10% deposit, renovated it, sold the house, then was able to go and reinvest that money into a second property, which again was a similar strategy. I renovated it and flipped it, all whilst I was still at university, about 21 at the time. So at that point, you'd probably thought I would have gone into the world of property investment full time, but that wasn't the case. Instead, I decided to go and do a master's degree based around dissection of clinical anatomy. So when people would donate their body to research, we would have the privilege to be able to dissect the bodies and learn about all the intricacies of the human body. However, there was only so much of that I could do, and I wanted to make a lot of money in my career. I soon realised when I was cutting through the pericardiacophrenic artery, which is somewhere here, and realised that, do you know what, this isn't for me. But I finished the degree. All I was focused on was getting into property, and that is, the main motivation. And I had enough money kind of saved up from the sale of the previous houses to buy the next house as a cash purchase. But this time it was different because I needed the cash flow. I needed a rental income, and that's when I decided to do HMOs to students. So up until now, I've had 5 projects, 3 properties which I've sold and 2 properties which I've kept. So just to wrap up, this was a brief introduction into my property journey so far. My next videos, I'll be talking a little bit more in depth about each individual deal, sharing my experiences on how to grow a property portfolio. So if you're interested, subscribe to the channel and hit the video with a like. Subscribe to the video. No. So
stand up and say.
Yeah.
Yeah, stand up and say. See you.
What do you want me to say?
See you in the next one.
Yeah. Oh, I've been James. See you in the next one.
I've been
James.
Yeah,
I've been James Property. See you in the next one.
So I've been James. See you in the next one. And
So I've been James. I'll see you in the next one.